So welcome to week 6 of Empowered You. And this week's call is to go with module 6, which is self-care. And so today we are going to be diving into the topic of self-care, and then anything else that we have not covered to this point, or whatever comes up for you or is present for you, we can cover today. We have 2 more calls after today. We'll do module 7, and module 7 is our last module. And then we'll have our final call, which will be our wrap-up call, and that's really our integration call. And that's where we'll kind of do a review of everything. And you'll get a sheet probably by the end of this week that's kind of like a review sheet that you can fill in everything you've done so far. So it kind of brings it all together in one nice little handy place where you can look at it. So today is, if you've begun to look at module 6 and look at self-care, really the purpose for this module is, this is like the foundation of everything you will be and do, is to take care of yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, to nurture those parts of you that require having that energy, having that self-love, having that spaciousness to do and be what you came here to do and be in the world in a much bigger way. And now that you've been doing all this work and really identifying who you are, you know, what's important to you, what your strengths are, how, you know, what your purpose is, how you want to show up in the world. You've looked at your vision and where you're heading. You've looked at your goals, right? And the goals piece was really the action, is the doing part of this process. And it's the taking action and the actualization of your vision and everything. What? Ready? And welcome, Lola, I see you. And so this is, you know, the goal setting part is the part that's the action part, right? So a lot of the first part of this was like the being part, and then we step into the doing part. And the self-care piece is so that you can really sustain the doing part, right? And the being part as well. But it's when you have self-care practices in place that really nurture you, that fill your cup, that have you in a space where you can keep doing the work you're here to do, then you can be the most effective version of you, right? And what I know from personal experience and from working with clients and seeing people is that when we put everybody else first, and when we're not allowing ourselves to meet our own needs, we get depleted. And we start having feelings of, you know, we feel resentful of other people. We have less patience with other people. We are not able to take care of other people. We are not able to take care of ourselves, right? We feel tired. We feel like, you know, we don't have energy. And more. There's a lot more that comes with that. And I'm sure each of you have experienced some of that in your own way and at your own level. And so you're all aware of what it's like when you're not taking care of yourself to the fullest, right? So let's begin to shift that. Let's begin to shift from this belief that some people have that self-care is selfish, right? That we should always be giving to other people, that when we focus on our own needs, it's selfish and we shouldn't be doing that. And the reality is that self-care is necessary because you guys are each up to something bigger in the world, right? You're not just here to go through the motions every day. You're here to play a bigger game. You're here to make the difference you're here to make. You're here to fulfill on a purpose that only you can fulfill on. And in order to do that, in order to be of service at that level, you must take care of yourself. It's a requirement. You must, okay? So when you start breaking down and you don't have the energy and all that other stuff, then you cannot fulfill on your purpose. And we don't want that. We want you to be able to do what you came here to do effectively. Okay, so I'm going to get off of my pulpit there. That's my little rah. And if you have not yet done this module, you'll see that it's going to address you know, physical self-care, mental, spiritual, emotional, and it's important to really look at what those are for you, for what, you know, like what are the things that you're maybe really craving that you didn't even know were missing in your life. Maybe you're feeling like intellectually you need to be fed more, you know, you need to be more in a circle of people that are more intellectual, or you need to have more conversations that feed that part of you, right? And that is definitely intellectual self-care. And there's, you know, the spiritual self-care, right? Which is that maybe you're not feeling connected, you know, maybe you're not feeling connected to the earth or to God or to spirit or to universe or to that energy, you know, that is that palpable energy that's available to all of us. That we're not fully participating in, right? Because we are depleted or because we are disconnected or whatever reasons. So if you're feeling that, then there's a place to look at, okay, how do I connect and fill my cup spiritually? You know, is it, do I join an organization, you know, where there's fellowship? Do I just need to go out in nature more, you know, and ground myself to the earth? Do I need to, meditate more, you know? And the meditation can help with all. I think it can be the physical, spiritual, emotional, mental, you know, that can really help with all areas. But what is it that you're feeling called and need to do that's going to help you in that area of your life? Physical is easy. I think that's the one that we all can kind of like really identify where we're struggling or lacking, or, you know we could eat better. We know we could drink more water. We know we could work out, go to the gym more. You know, so make sure you're looking at all of the 4 areas and really including the full spectrum of what would support you in all of the areas, okay? Because when you feel fully supported, you guys, like, I'm not joking, like when I have all of my needs met, I'm just like, I feel good, I feel filled up, I feel on fire, like I have energy, there's nothing I can't do, I'm happy, I'm like la la la, everything's flowing energetically, and that's because I'm taking care of my needs. So that's how, if you want your life to be in flow, take care of your needs, fill up your cup, hit all these areas, and you're gonna start feeling the flow, I guarantee it. And also when you're intentional about what you're focusing on, right? Like not just the self-care piece, but also the fulfilling your purpose, your values, where you're spending your time and energy, who you're hanging out with, right? Like who are you surrounding yourself with? All of these energetic things, and having the intention of that is going to really shift your vibration, and it's going to shift the energetic field and the flow that you're experiencing. So this is why self-care is a must. I'll be interested in kind of seeing once you look at, you know, what are the ways you're already good at taking care of yourself? Because I guarantee there's things you're already doing that are natural to you, that really feed you and that take care of you on that level. And then there's things that you know you could be doing more, and then there's things you might not even have realized you could be doing more. And so this module is just an opportunity to really get the full picture, okay, and like fill that out. And then looking at, you know, maybe you go back to your goal setting and you say, okay, I realize that I'm lacking in the self-care area, and so I'd like to set myself a goal in this area. And here's what it's going to look like. And then you break it down, you hit your milestones, you put your to-do list so that you know exactly what you're doing when. And maybe taking better care of yourself is like a 3-step plan, right? Like I need to do this, this, and this. And then under each of those categories, those subcategories, you have, you know, your steps you need to take, and you can schedule those into your calendar. And this is what I really recommend, that you put space in your calendar, you guys, just like you would do a doctor's appointment, you would, you know, a lunch date with a friend, whatever, like you schedule all that in your calendar, right? So make these your sacred moments and dates with yourself for self-care, self-love, right? Filling up your cup, and schedule them in and have them be non-negotiables, right? Like these are the things, like for me, every Monday at 9 a.m. I have an appointment with my trainer at the gym. Be there or be square, like every Monday. There's nothing that's more important than that. You know, very few things are more important than that. And I, you know, beyond that, I usually work out 2 to 3 days a week with my trainer, but Mondays at 9 are sacred. Like that's what it is, right? So what's sacred for you, and what are you willing to schedule into your calendar that are non-negotiable? Okay. So that is what I have for self-care. I want to open it up. And of course, like always, you know, we can start with self-care, but if you are on a different module and you're needing help and support with that, then this space is open for you to talk about whatever you're needing support with right now. Okay. Because this is as in Nola's post on Facebook, she said she's feeling behind and certain modules are taking longer, and that's totally fine. And this is a process that's going to be individual to each of you. And so as long as you're doing the work and you're getting results from it, like you're feeling through the process, that's the most important thing. It doesn't matter how long it takes you. So wherever you are now is fine, and you can get support wherever you are, and then, you know, just keep moving forward. So who would like to start? You can unmute yourself if you want to, you know, get coaching on anything, or, you know, you have questions or you want feedback, anything like that. This is your opportunity to get support. So who would like to go first? And I think you all know how to unmute yourselves. So I'm just gonna, you can do that, or you could type it into the chat, raise your hand, whatever you want to do. And don't be shy. There are just 3 of you on the call right now, so we'll have plenty of time to get to everyone. And, you know, whatever you want to focus on is great. So who wants to go first? Okay. I see a hand raised.
I'll go first. Nobody's going. Sorry, I'm like eating my lunch right now because I'm on my lunch break.
Okay.
So I have salad on my braces. So.
No worries.
So I'm still in module 5, and I'm enjoying it. It's just taking me a longer time just because I think I'm like a perfectionist. So, and I like to write it out. Like I see the printouts and they're great, but I just feel better when I'm using my hands writing things. So I'm doing pretty good. I don't think I'm struggling, just, you know, time-wise. I'm slow to begin with, and then to add on top of it. But I've just finished up the hidden treasure sheet. So just so you know, like the hidden treasure one with all the arrows and everything. Yeah. And that one was pretty cool. I'm excited to do the next one. I find it interesting, the goals that I had put on here. And I really like the way that you have it broken down into it. So for like example, the take action plan on that part, how for each goal to just like take your action. And so I wrote it out, and I actually wrote down like my plans for it. My 3 main goals for this upcoming year is to get out of debt, to declutter our house, because I live with my mom, and she's been in that house for, since 93. And me and my sister grew up there, and all of our crap is still there, like hidden away in corners. And it's not a giant house. I think it's 2,300 square feet, but it is like packed. And so we've been trying to get rid of things. I've moved in and out myself, so we have like all of our own possessions everywhere. So decluttering the house is definitely a goal that even my mom and me want to work on. Okay. And then the last one is physically fit, because I noticed that when I'm doing things healthy, I'm not only healthy physically, but I'm also healthy mentally. And being a single mom, I have to really be on point with my game, because if I'm not feeling good, then the kids aren't feeling good, because I'm snapping at them for just being the normal selves. Yes. So that's kind of like where I'm at. Those were the 3 things. So okay.
Cool. And then were you through this process able to kind of like map out what you're going to do and by when for each of those?
Yeah. For example, let's see, like I'll share with you one of the goal 2 action plans I'm talking about the house decluttering. So I put that my main thing is to game plan and set specific times. Then make a list to go through, so that way I have it broken down. Like, for example, I went through nail polishes that I've had since high school. Like, I had 2 bags of nail polishes that me and my sister, my best friend, have collected throughout the years. And I had like, I think almost 80 of them. Wow. And then I dropped that down to, I still have more than I need, but I dropped it down to about like 1/3 of that, and was able to put into a cleaner. So that's like an example of what I've been trying to do. And then just do like, I want to go through our towels, our linens, and all that kind of crap. And I'm such like a donator person. I have such a hard time tossing things that I figured what I'll do is I'll set specific dates of when we need to donate to certain places, because there's all different kinds of places that take different things. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of like the game plan that I have, is that we'll have specific dates for specific drop-offs, and just have it kind of go through. And then my goal for that was to be done. I gave myself a year with my mom, because it's going to be a team effort for that one, definitely. But to do the inside of the house in 6 months. And then we're going to do the second part, which is like the backyard, which has kids' toys, and we have a pool and broken lawn chair. It sounds really horrible. It's not that bad, but we have 6 months to go through the garage and then through the backyard and just get rid of everything that we possibly can.
Okay. So how does that feel for you, that plan? Does it feel like doable? Does it feel good?
I think it's definitely doable. I think that we're giving ourselves enough time, because it's not like I'm doing the whole house by myself. It's like, sections that we're doing. And I've been going through the kids' toys like crazy, and it's good because they're participating too. And they had to fill up a bag this weekend. I'm like, pretty much every few weeks we're going through and getting rid of toys that they don't even play with. And it's surprising, some of the toys they get rid of, I'm like, no, don't do that. But I just put it in the bag. Exactly. I'm like, I put it in my purse behind me. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. So we're slowly working on it anyway. So it's a mental frame that we're already in, but now I just really have to push harder. I think this setting the time frame on it makes me push harder, instead of just kind of like, nah, I'll get to it later kind of a thing.
Yeah. So are you doing drop-offs like once a month or every couple of weeks? Like what's your...
Like for that I do have to plan out still, which I was waiting. My mom was out of town for 2 weeks. So that's been really hard about why I couldn't make a lot of the calls, because I have to juggle the business and the house and the kids and everything. And she's my partner when it comes to everything. So she was gone for 2 weeks. So when she got back last night at 10, I figured when we're settled, we'll start setting dates of when we want to do it. Like, I probably want to try and do it monthly at certain places, because we should be going through everything. Some of the times the day we've gone through crap, we'll stick it right into the car and head it and drop it off. That way it's sitting in the car following us around, like haunting you, like, you can't get groceries in here till it's gone.
Yeah. So the thing about goal setting is you want to set yourself deadlines that are close enough that you're motivated to stay in action, but not so close that it stresses you out, right? So it's like, yeah, so you want to pick things that feel good, like that are spaciousness enough for you that like you're not stressing about getting it done. But at the same time, it's not so far out or so lenient that you're motivated that you don't stay in action, right? So that's the trick with goal setting. That's one of the tricks.
One of the many.
Yeah, exactly. So like having a drop-off date like once a month or every 2 weeks, like...
Yeah, I think the 2 weeks sounds better. I like your idea with that. Yeah.
Okay. I really like that, because I like how you are kind of like sectioning things off, and you're like, okay, we're going to do the kids' toys, and we're going to do the beauty products, or we're going to, next, and you can go from one thing to the next, and then you can fill up your bags and then know that, okay, in 2 weeks, we're going to drop this stuff off, whatever we have, right? And that really systematic, but it's not like overwhelming, right? It's like, we can do this one.
Yeah. No, I have to attribute that to the KonMari method. I read her book and I do Audible and stuff. And she's a little bit more extreme. Like, she's like, throw everything away. Like, if you if you're saving it and giving it to someone else. But I took it and did my own spin on it. But I liked how she categorized it. She's like, get all your clothes, because if you think it's not there, then you don't know what you really have. And I kid you not, since May, we moved out of our house, and I've gotten rid of almost every piece of furniture that we have. I've gotten rid of so much clothes. It's ridiculous, the amount of stuff that I've gotten rid of. And I'm like, and there's still more. Like, where does it come from?
Right? So how does that feel, like energy wise, like energetically for you? How does it feel to get rid of that stuff?
Oh my gosh, it feels great. Like some of the stuff I'm kind of like, oh, it's so hard. But then, she also says too that if it doesn't spark joy, or if you're not honoring the item, if it's just shoved away in a closet. Yeah. So that's the main thing that I try and think about a lot, because I'm super sentimental, and we're like not hoarders, but borderline hoarders, because we hold on to way too much crap. But it's like, the kids' clothes, and I don't think I'm gonna have any more babies, so it's kind of like really hard. I'm just like, oh, babies, that kind of stuff. So it feels good though once it's gone, and like I see the space and all the hard work, because you wouldn't think that it's like that hard to get rid of stuff, but it's exhausting. I'm so tired.
It's emotional. It's emotional. There's that emotional attachment to stuff that we have. And so it is exhausting, because, it's not just a matter of picking something up and throwing it away. It's like, all the feelings that go with that. Right. And so it's processing and releasing, and, and so it is exhausting. So, but it's awesome, because that really will open up space for you, right? Like it's going to open up space not only in your home physically, but it's going to open up space energetically for you to call in like new things that you will love, that you want in your life, right? And they can be physical things, but they can also be like, I'm clearing the space to call in more money. I'm clearing the space to call in deeper love. I'm clearing the space to call in a deeper spiritual connection, whatever it is that you are wanting and wanting to call in. By clearing your physical space, you're making room energetically for what you really want,
Yeah, and it's great too, because I have good stuff, and I just never got to use it because I have 6 of the same thing pretty much, So now I feel like I'm able to really use my products, whatever it is, or merchandise, whatever the heck it is, but just that I'm actually being able to use it. So I really like that, like honoring the system of what you have, kind of a thing. It's not so wasteful. I feel like it's, and it's kind of like a slap in the face, like how much money did I just really waste on all this stuff?
Yeah. Awesome. So, okay. So with your other goals, you have their 3 goals. So what's your deadline, or kind of your goal for the getting out of debt and the physically fit?
So the getting out of debt thing, I looked at it, and for me, like we have a house. So obviously that's not going to be something that I'm too concerned about. We don't have to pay for it up front. Luckily we have renters that cover it. So for me, like that's not a big deal. And then I don't mind having a car payment, but to me, it's okay if I have a car payment that I can make and I'm still surviving. Because car payments are so ridiculous nowadays, to have something newer, nicer. And I have all old vehicles. Mine's an old clunker. But for me, that's having like small debts paid off, like my Ashley furniture for my bed, my credit card payment, or my credit cards are clear. Some of the stuff that I've had to make for the house, we had to do an AC thing, and we had to get a water filter, like those kind of small loan credit card things. Yeah. For me, once those are all paid off, that to me would be, I'm happy with that. That's my goal.
Okay. So what's your deadline?
So that would be February of 2020. I should have nothing on any of my accounts, and I would have some money that's also including some emergency money saved up on the side. So I'll have a cash emergency fund, and then that's all other debts like wiped out.
Okay. So a couple things here. One is, I would like you, instead of, I know that getting out of debt might be a motivator, but I'd like you to focus on what you want rather than so the getting out of debt, right?
So like, what does it give me? The kind of not having it?
Well, so actually, the way you could phrase it is, I want to feel financially free. Or, I want to, my goal is to feel, is to be, whatever words speak to you, like financially liberated or financially free or financially independent or, in charge of my finances or, whatever. But do you see the difference between like stating it that way versus getting out of debt? It's like digging out of something, right?
Yeah, it's a power statement. I get you.
So I want you to shift that statement into, the bigger goal is like, this is, because ultimately you don't want to get out of debt. Like that's not your ultimate goal. Your ultimate goal is to what? To feel financially empowered, to have abundance, to feel money flowing freely in and out of your life. Like what is your ultimate goal, right? Because the getting out of debt for what? For what?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
It's stress. I'm so stressed because of money. Being the only like real provider is a lot of work. So I want to be able to have the opportunity to say, oh yeah, you let's go do this, or let's go do that. Or, taking my kids out places or vacations. Like vacations are really important for us. That's when we get to relax, and because I'm always doing something. Like moms here know that you just never not do something. Mm-hmm. So it's the vacations, the freedom, the flexibility, having money in my account and not being like, oh crap, like, okay, what are we going to do for groceries this week? Kind of a deal. Like, like I don't want to, for me, financial freedom is just, it's not millions of dollars. It's having money paid off, having money sitting there waiting for me to use for whatever may come up. If I want to start investing kind of a thing, then that would be great. If, it's about not stressing. That's the bottom line of it. My root is no stress, not stressing.
Okay, so what's the opposite of no stress? Is it ease? Is it peace? Is it flow? Is it
carefree? I guess is kind of what comes to my mind. Carefree.
Okay. So the opposite of stress is carefree. And in carefree, what do you get to do and who do you get to be when you're in that place? Carefree.
Carefree. I think just fun. Like I get to be fun. I don't know.
Yeah. Like you're even laughing and smiling now, thinking about it, right? Like
like it feels good.
Yeah. You get to feel good, right? You
Mm-hmm.
get to have fun. You get to be free. So that's what you're after. That is the feeling that you're calling in and making room for by decluttering your space, right? Mm-hmm. By focusing on financial freedom, or whatever word you're using, right? Financial freedom and whatever that means to you, because it'll mean different things for different people. So it doesn't matter what it means for other people. But if you're clear about what that means to you, and financial freedom means being carefree, it means having fun, it means feeling good, right? That's what you're calling in. That's why you're getting out of debt, right? That's why you're doing it. So when you focus on the vision of what you're creating and calling in, that feels better, doesn't it? That feels like, yes, this is why I want to do this. So you're stepping away and out of that stress place and into this more abundance, ease, flow, grace place, right? And so, money, I want to say this to everybody who's listening is, money comes and money goes, and our ability to generate money is always there. We always have that ability to generate money. And debt, we can collect debt and then we can get out of debt, but we can easily accumulate debt again, right? So it's not like you're getting to a certain place. Like when you get out of debt, the debt that you currently have, it doesn't automatically give you freedom. It doesn't automatically give you the things that you say you want to experience, because you can easily get right back into debt, you know? So it's really about like creating new habits. It's about creating a new way of being, a new way of opening up to abundance and to flow and really experiencing that in your life, you know, to really like feeling worthy and deserving of having that too. And so if we create from that space of, you know, like I am worthy, I am deserving, I am capable, and just opening up to receiving the abundance that already is, you know, there's abundance everywhere in the universe. If people want to look at, you know, money, right? There's so much money in the universe. It's the distribution of money that's a problem, right? Like that's the problem. It's not that there's not enough. There's enough. It's just certain people have it, right? And so why not you? Why not me? Why not all of us have more money and have more abundance in our lives so that we can do good with it, right? So that we can make a difference in the things that are important to us, right? And when we make a difference in those things, we're helping other people, we're changing the world. And that's why it's important that we open up to receiving that kind of abundance, right? Because it is about freedom for us to experience the kind of lifestyle we want, and it's about making a bigger difference in the world. So we can't do that if we're like stressed out all the time, right? And we're playing small and we're, you know, and so let's all, this is an invitation for all of us just to really expand ourselves into a place of, and let's just take a moment right now, like everybody, if you can, close your eyes wherever you are, and just taking a nice deep grounding breath in through your nose and out your mouth. And again, another deep breath in through your nose and out your mouth. And I want you to begin to tap into the energy that is here within you and around you. That is this energetic vibe of abundance. There's abundance. There's an abundance of stuff. There's an abundance of love. There's an abundance of money. It's flowing freely around you, in you. And right now you can feel yourself, your heart, opening up and expanding to receive that abundance of love, that abundance of money. Anything that you want to call in right now, just call that in. Feel that in your energetic space internally and around you. Feel that amongst us, between us, with the women on this call, the women in your community, the people in your family. Expanding that outward and outward and outward into the world, this flow of abundance going out from within you and then looping back to you. And just receiving that in your body, in your space, and breathing that in. And repeating, I am abundant. I open up and receive all the gifts and bounty that's available to me. I graciously accept all the universe has to offer. And I freely give in return. And just breathing that in and really feeling that within you and around you. You are abundant. I am abundant. And when you're ready, just coming back physically here with us. How does that feel? How do you guys feel? Feel good?
Mhm.
Okay. So be in the energy of that vibration, be in the energy of that abundance, and then create a plan like you're doing, right? So now, like, what is it? Because there's this part of like the being and the calling it in energetically. And then there's the part of, you know, we talk about the law of attraction, and no, it's not just like dreaming it and being able to see it and feel it. And then and so it is. It's like there's a part that is the active part of you, right? There's a part that, you know, requires you to get into action, that requires you to do something to move yourself toward that thing that you're manifesting, that you're calling in, you know? And so that's where this goal setting module fits in. It really fits in terms of, okay, how are these goals and these actions aligned with where I'm headed? Okay. So going back to this, you know, if you can see that, you know, getting out of debt, which now we're calling becoming financially free, right?
Mhm.
Decluttering the house or creating a beautiful, spacious environment, you know, clutter-free environment.
Yeah, for that one, it's totally the root of that one is easy for me. That one's like not cleaning. It gives me more time with the house being clean. I just spend so much time cleaning and I don't get why I'm still cleaning the area. You
Yeah.
know?
So
So for me, that's free time. It gives me free time.
okay, so it really gets you back free time to do what you want to do, which is like, there's nothing more important than time, right? Like that is the most valuable commodity we
You
have.
can't buy time.
Exactly. So that's huge. And yes, focusing on that thing, like what is it that this goal gives you at the end of the day, right? What does it give you? And if you realize it's going to give you more time to do the things you want to do, is that motivating for you to get it done? Yeah. So the other thing I wanted to say, and then we're going to move on about getting out of debt. You set yourself a February of 2020 date, and I'm actually just going to cross off getting out of debt because I don't even want to say that anymore. We're going to put this financial freedom. So your financial freedom date is February 2020, okay? Which feels kind of far out. So I want you to really stay connected to that goal, okay? And so it's going to be important for you to set yourself milestones that are going to be right, and then maybe like create dates along that spectrum so that you know, like, okay, when this credit card is paid off, you know, I'm going to work on this one first and it'll be paid off by this date. Then you know you're moving toward that final goal.
Perfect. I like it.
Okay. All right, so thank you. Are you good for now?
Thank you. Oh yeah, I'm totally good. I'm gonna shut the screen off so I can finish eating though. So
okay, no problem.
Thank you for letting me have the time.
Awesome. Okay. So okay, we'll mute you. And then who would like to go next? And I don't know. Cherie. Okay, you do know how to unmute yourself, I think. And Anna. You want to go now, Anna?
Well, I can go after Cherie if she's ready.
You're good. Go ahead.
Okay. So I am most of the way through Module 5 on goal setting. And, so much paper. So I printed out like 3 copies of sheets so I could have one for each goal. And the 3 goals I picked were scheduling fun activities and outings and dates with Toon and Boomer. There he goes barking.
He likes that.
I think he sees another dog. Number 2 is collaborating with friends on trainings. And number 3 is to launch my successful consulting/training biz. Boomer, stop growling. Boomer, stop it.
Okay. Okay. So scheduling fun activities. Okay, that one feels like doing, like just things to do to check off your list. So what would be like a really, what is the point of doing the fun activities? Like what's your why for that?
What's my why?
Yeah, like why do you want to do that? Why is it important to you?
I mean, the key thing is that's what's been out of balance. So I've been just, hey, boomer, I can't even talk. So having the fun and joy in my life from participating in those sorts of activities, and I think with more balance in terms of fun and going, it'll also like help me recharge and be energized and less stressed out and tired. So it'll help me energy wise, and then also feel like I'm, putting my relationship with Tune and my time with my dog as a priority. So I'll feel like the time that I'm spending with them is more quality time instead of like, oh, okay, well, I'm just home. I'm not really doing anything.
Yeah. So basically, through this, you're focusing on the bringing more fun and joy in your life, which will actually help your health. It'll help your relationship, right? Like you're connecting, prioritizing your relationship. And that those are kind of your why and what, right? Like what this will do for you.
Yeah, let me see if I wrote anything else down. Yeah, and I feel like I'm enjoying my life.
Okay. Yeah. So for this one, usually I like real specifics, but what I'd like to do with this one is kind of have a broader, like the goal is maybe to bring more joy and fun into your life.
Yeah.
And then underneath that, we can get more specific, right? So like, what does that mean? What does that look like? And you can kind of like, what would that look like with Tune and with your dog? And what would that look like with, you just doing more active, fun things, that are going to help your health and that are going to connect you to your friends more, right? Right. Okay. So have you, with these 3 categories, have you broken them down into like what that would look like for each?
Yeah, I did the, what do you call it? SMART goal setting sheet.
Mm-hmm.
And I set, I guess one of the last things is 3 steps I'll do in the next week and 3 steps I'll do in the next month. Is that what you're asking, or the paragraph where I describe like this is what it feels like and looks like?
No, it's more of the like what are the specific things you're going to do, because like with collaborating with friends on trainings, could that possibly fall underneath your launching your successful business?
Yeah, it's connected to that.
It is. Okay. So the launching successful business feels like a huge one to me, right? Like this is a really big, and so what I'd love for you to do actually is just have 2 goals, not 3. So what we'll do is we'll have you have the bringing more fun and joy into your life as being one of the goals, right? And then breaking that down, like in the areas, what that would look like, with what would be more fun and what would you do and like that, and then set some things and put them in your calendar. And then the other goal is going to be launching your successful business. And then that'll have like subcategories, right? So one of them will be collaborating with friends on trainings.
Right.
And so I want you to really break that one down into subcategories.
Okay.
And then under those subcategories, you're going to break it down even further into like action steps that you're going to take with deadlines, right? Like with dates. So you know exactly what you're focusing on when for your business launch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so Have you done the subcategories yet for that area?
Yeah, let me see. I think, yeah. So I put, in order to achieve this goals, I will start doing. So I put down like create a name for my business instead of it's just me.
So that's a to-do, right? That's a
Yeah.
to-do list. Okay.
Is that what you mean, like the specific actions?
Say that again.
Is that what you're asking me about, the list of
Yes.
to-dos?
Yeah. So what I'm kind of looking for now is like, let's do subcategories before we break down to-dos.
I see. Okay.
So like, yeah, and what you could do also is if like what I find really helpful is just to do a brain dump, right? Like just write everything you can think of that's going to be required for you to launch your business successfully, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you can after that categorize them if you want. So and then you can say, so like one part of it might be like launching your website. That would be a subcategory.
Right.
And then underneath launching your website would be like picking a domain name, writing my about me page, getting testimonials, like all of these things would be your to-do list.
Mm-hmm.
And then on that, I want you to have, so once you identify like your subcategories, like the website, the this, the that, then I want you to look at prioritizing them, right? Like, okay, which ones need to be done first? And then underneath that category, you look at your to-do steps, and then you can kind of prioritize your to-do steps. Like, okay, what do I have to do first under there? And then each week, map it out in your calendar what you're going to work on that week, right? So I'd like you to look at a 90-day plan where you're like, okay, what do I want to accomplish in the next 90 days to launch my business successfully? And then maybe, you're just going to choose, because you can only do so much, right? You're not going to be able to do everything. So I want you to really get clear and specific about what are the highest payoff activities, what are the things you need to do first, to really get the momentum going in launching your business. And, if you can, because realistically, like, you can launch a business without having everything done, right? And you can start making money right away without having, to do everything. And so I, want you to think about like, what is your date for wanting to launch your business, right? So that's the first thing, is launch business successful business by when? Do you have a date already?
Yeah, so it's interesting because I did part of the Module 5 last night, and I put January 2018. And then when I was doing it this morning, I put March 2018. Like, I was like, I don't know if I'll be ready in January. But
Okay.
I did,
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so in there.
Good. So that's a 3-month, that's basically
the 90 days.
Right? Or 90-day plan. So this is great. So take your bigger vision picture, right, of what a successful business launch looks like. Okay, start with the vision in mind, and then you're going to work back from that. So you're going to go, okay, well, the components of a successful business are these. And in order to have those, I need to do these things, right? This is what I need to focus on. Will that be helpful for you to kind of like break it down, like maybe put into buckets, right? Like you have different buckets, and then in the buckets are like the to-dos that you have to do, and then scheduling those on the calendar, because now you can go, okay, here's my 90-day plan. I know exactly what I'm working on each day. And also, looking realistically at how much time you have, because right now you're still employed at UCLA, right? So like, when are you going to cut that off and dive into this, right? And that's going to determine like how much time you have to focus on building your business, right?
Right. Yeah. I think some thoughts that came up while I was doing the exercise in terms of subcategories, because I was thinking about what do I already have in place, or like low-hanging fruit or possibilities.
Yeah.
So I have this contract that I'm on the near end of with San Jose State to get their program launched. And my friend is actually hoping to bring me out for a full-time job out there. But I want to talk to her about like what might it look like to create an extended consulting contract to keep working with them at least through May. So
Okay.
that gets me some consulting work like right away.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking I would draft like a letter of introduction that explains who I am and what I have to offer that I could share with different campuses to get more consulting gigs.
Yeah.
And I also thought I could collect testimonials from people who have gone through my trainings in the past as creating marketing material.
And don't forget, when you're collecting testimonials, it doesn't have to be just people who've gone through your trainings. It can be colleagues. It can be people you've co-led trainings with, or people who've, observed your trainings. So don't limit it just to people who've participated, because you're going to get a fuller picture, a full breadth of experiences when you have testimonials from different vantage points, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, that's helpful.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure I'll think of other things I need to think of, but those were the things that came up as I was going through the worksheets.
That's great. I love the fact that you're focusing on the highest payoff and low-hanging fruit first.
Mm-hmm.
That is money in your pocket, right? And so that's what you want to do, is look at, okay, where can I immediately start bringing money in, and focus your attention there. And as you feel more confident because you've got money in the door, and especially if you have until May, a certain amount of money coming in, it kind of gives you that room, that space to build your business and get all the pieces in place, right? So that's brilliant. I love that you're doing that. And yes, so why don't you, as part of the goal setting module, I really want you to break down this successful launch, right? And what that looks like. And what you'll do when, and then post it in the group so that we can help hold you accountable. We can, just kind of give you maybe feedback if there's anything we see that could help you. And then the other one is the fun piece. So do you feel like this is good, and will keep you like for the next 90 days, like in action and focus on things that are important?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay, cool. Was there anything else? I'm excited. This is so exciting. This business launch and bringing more fun in. Yay to those. So is there anything else you wanted to focus on?
Yeah. I mean, listening to Lola, I resonated a lot with her. And I think I shared with you, like, I also have this goal of doing that decluttering process. And my health has also been, a high concern, and something I want to give focused and intentional energy to.
Okay.
So when I thought, well, I have to narrow it down to the three that like felt like they were the most highest impact on my happiness and all of that. That's what came out with like working with my friends and colleagues, launching my dialogue business, and then having more fun.
Yeah.
So health and the decluttering got off of the goals list. So now that I've crunched it down to 2, I'm wondering like, I would love to really put the health on there. I can see like that is something that it's easy for me to make excuses for if I don't have it as a scheduled activity.
Yes. So what if you put health under the have more fun? Oh, can you hear me?
Oh, have more fun? Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit, but
okay. I'm back. So what if you put health under your goal of having more fun? So rather than
that makes it more fun.
What if, rather than making health a separate category that you're just kind of like, what if you put that under fun and like kind of thought of ways that you could bring health in under your fun category? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. No, I like that.
Okay. The screen keeps freezing up, so I don't know if you guys are hearing me. You like that?
Yeah. You freeze up, but I still hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So what's funny is that when you first talked about scheduling fun, you also talked about health under that. You said that would, impact your health, right? And so,
yes.
Yeah. So I think it's a natural fit, and it's kind of fun because it shifts your perspective about health and having to, focus on that into like, oh, how can I make this be fun? Like, what can I do that would be fun as it relates to my health? Right. Right. So like already you had previously talked about hiking, right? And like, that's fun and that will help your health. And so things like that, right? Where forget trying to make it hard or trying to make it, it doesn't have to be hard, and it doesn't have to be difficult or boring or any of that stuff. Like if that's what you're thinking about health, forget it. You're not going to be motivated to do it. So start with the things that feel fun to you. And it could be around, eating. It could be around nutrition, could be around exercise. It could be around, water intake, or it could be like doing laughter yoga, right? Like what if you went and did laughter yoga and you got to laugh your butt off, and you at the end of it just felt so good and such a release and so uplifted. Like that is good for your health.
Is that a thing? I never.
Yes. There is a thing as laughter yoga. Look it up. It's completely like outrageous, and everybody sits there and they, and you just laugh and you laugh. And then when other people are doing it, it's like catchy. And then you just get, I've seen videos of it. Like just watch. It's, it's like off the wall, but oh my gosh, like it would be so fun.
Right.
To let go at that level. Right. Mm-hmm. And laughter is so good for our health. Right. So like, how could you bring more laughter into your life, and how would that affect your health, right? Like how fun would that be to think of it that way? So that's the challenge and the opportunity for you, is to think of like, okay, I want to bring more fun into my life and I want to bring more health. So how, like, what would that look like to do both simultaneously, to bring healthy fun? And then for the declutter piece, does that feel like something you have room and space for in the next 90 days? Do you feel compelled to it, or does it feel like a should?
I do feel compelled to it, and I wanted to make at least the first dent in my closet this weekend, and I didn't get to it.
Okay.
But I did make a dent on my desk at work, and I cleared like a whole, I guess, almost a half, like between a third and a half of the mess on my desk is gone now.
Okay, awesome. So why don't we make that number 3? Your third goal is decluttering your house, your space, your whatever. Say what it is, put a date on it, and then break it down into your milestones. What will you do and by when? And if you liked what Lola said and kind of the way she's approaching it, you borrow that and, do what works for you.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Sounds good.
Awesome. Are you good?
I'm good. Thanks.
Yay. Okay. All right, cool. So you're muted, and then let's unmute Cherie. Cherie, there. Cherie.
Can you hear me? Hi. Hi.
Yes.
Hi. Oh gosh. Well, I pushed back. I'm sitting out front of a meeting at 1:15 that starts at 1:15. I just had to drive to it.
Okay.
But I really, really could use your help. So maybe I'll just try to get on Facebook. I am never on Facebook, as you can see.
I know.
It's like one more thing I cannot get to. You know what I mean? I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's not in my realm yet, Facebook, but I will. Yeah, I need some goals around support. I'll just verbalize it in the next 5 minutes. But
yeah,
I'm trying to set myself up for this new project. Like I said, it looks like it's going to go forward for. I really want to set myself up with supportive habits and structure that will support me in all the areas of self-care as we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
But also even in like literally in a new way of a new way of organizing, so that I don't. My typical MO is to be available 24/7, and literally I work 4 in the morning to that kind of thing. Which on one hand I'm proud that I do that, like I'm available and I do that. On the other hand, maybe there's a different way to approach it that's more supportive to me in every way.
Yeah.
And family. My boys.
Sounds like some boundary setting is in order. Yes.
Yeah, and I see that it would be valuable to run it by you. You know how, to utilize the coaching for that support. A sounding board.
Okay. So in your ideal world, what would that look like? Like, what would your work schedule and your life look like with this new, assuming you get this new project?
Yeah, and I keep, when I did my future self and all the visioning around that, there's such a piece of like a partnership too, like literally like a partnership as it relates to a man, a romantic relationship, which takes a lot of effort and a lot of energy, as well as the career situation. So I don't know, for some reason, I kind of want to focus on both aspects of my life, of that, bringing that in.
Okay.
So in my ideal scene, it would look like, there'd be plenty of room to work out every day. When I have not been working this year, that was like such a saving grace for me on the kind of mind, body, spirit. There'd be room to work out. There'd be room to work hard and make an impact. And there'd be, that I'd be nurturing myself. The self-care would be around, connecting with hopefully, ideally, a loving partner, few days a week, nights a week, whatever, like a break, to shift gears from work. And then that I would be a very relaxed mom to my boys. And there'd be enough space. I'm laughing because they think I'm the stressed out mother, that's constantly, stressed about money and work and all that kind of thing. Anyhow.
Yeah.
So I'm going to trying to turn over some new leaves.
Yes. So tell me a little bit more about what's included in the self-care piece.
What's included? Well, I realize like I really value connecting with, like that really supports me to connect with a good friend, or in this case, usually in this case, like a man. That aspect of connecting as a woman with a man. So that looks like self-care. That's a piece. That's kind of why I brought it up. Like I recognize that's really a piece that I want to incorporate. And working out, like there's no doubt I know the value of that, like in thinking clearly, and that I can connect with my body in a positive, in a good way.
Yep. Okay. So, okay. Was there anything else to the self-care besides working out and connecting with friends and a love partner?
Love connection. Those are kind of the ones that I am really clear on, and that I have had, experience that I think supports me.
Okay. And so what do you envision when you envision like working, the piece about working hard and making an impact? What do you envision? How much time do you envision giving to that per week?
Well, it's funny because I feel I'm kind of conflicted around what is the client's expectation on hours? Are they looking at like, what are they looking at? And I know what I want to give them. I want to actually, gosh, I've said these words. I've said like, they can own me, quote unquote, own me, which that's probably not a good thing to say. You know what I mean? Like, right?
Right.
I realize, so that's been my old way of looking at it,
Yeah.
Justine. As a consultant, like they're paying money, so I'm theirs kind of thing.
Nope.
Yeah.
So
Which,
okay. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna shift into your vision for your life, of what's what works for you, because the bottom line is whatever you create. Like, we know that you're committed to providing value and making a difference. We know you're a hard worker. We know you're going to give it your all in the time that you're setting for yourself to do that. And you said you want to set boundaries. You said you want to have a love life. You want to be a connected parent. You want to work out every day, right? So these things are yours to create and to have, and I'm here to tell you you can have all of it, but you need to be clear about your boundaries. So let's look at, from your perspective, not from the clients, what that would look like, what would really serve you, like what you want to give and what you're able and willing to give, that would also allow for you to have these other things that are important to you.
You know what? I know I've got these people waiting inside this for a meeting at 1:15, so I sort of feel like I can't think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I want you to do, because you have this meeting in a few minutes, is I want you to think about, with the things that you shared with me, and you can go back and listen to the recording to see what you said. And I want you to kind of create this vision of what does that look like, your ideal life. Each day, if you're working out, you're spending time with your loved one, you're working this many hours, you're connecting with your boys. I want you to create a vision, a snapshot in time of what your life looks like. Okay. Okay, so I want you to do that as kind of like the homework after this call, or whenever you can.
Yeah.
And then come back and post that. Come back and post it. And then, by the way, you have a 30-minute session with me for NPMC for this month. So go ahead and schedule that too.
Oh, wow. Okay, great. Thank you. That'd be great.
Yeah. So awesome. Good luck with your meeting.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, you guys. Have a great day.
Okay. Bye. They're saying bye. They're waving. Okay. All right. So we have, we could take a few more minutes if you guys wanted to touch on anything else, or we could end early, up to you. So anything else you guys want to cover in this time that we have? Okay, I see a hand. I see a little me.
I'm good. Anna, do you have anything?
Okay. You're good. All right.
I'm good.
I'll just unmute everyone. We can all talk to each other.
Yeah.
Anna, how do you feel? You're good?
I think I'm good. I just curious, you said we have 2 more calls.
Yep.
So I'm guessing one is next Tuesday, usual time.
Yeah.
On the 19th, but then it's not the following Tuesday, right? Is it in January, the last one?
So yeah, that we need to talk about that, because the last call was supposed to be the 19th, but I gave you guys an extra week to like work on and catch up on stuff. So we need to reschedule that final call, or we need to schedule that final call actually. So, just kind of depending, the day after Christmas would be the following Tuesday, or January 2nd, which would be the day after New Year's, would be the other option. So neither are ideal, but I want to get, your guys's input on if either one of those would work for you. And if not, I already have something scheduled on January 9th at this time, so I wouldn't be able to do it at that time on that day. And that kind of takes us 2 weeks, beyond. So I kind of like to get the last call in the next, couple of weeks, or in the next 3 weeks. And so let me know what you guys are thinking, just in terms of like, is anybody going to be around on the day after Christmas or the day after New Year's? I can make it work in my schedule either way. It just depends on you guys.
I'll have to double check my itinerary, but I'm going to be in Thailand and Cambodia for 3 weeks.
Oh, right. When are you gone?
The 17th.
Oh.
So this Sunday.
Okay.
But I'll have internet connections most of the time when I'm there.
Okay.
So
I'd really love for you guys to all be able to attend the final call, because that's going to be the integration call. And I think it'll be just important for wrapping up the whole process. So I'd really like to do it when the most people can be there. And Anna, you've been on every call, so I want to make sure that you're able to attend the final call too.
Yeah, I think I just need to make sure it's not a day that we're in Cambodia, because I'm guessing that's the most sketchy.
So what I'll do is I'll do a little poll in our group, and we'll just kind of, and then you can respond there, and kind of once you check your schedule, and everybody can see when they can make it.
All right.
And we'll make it work. I mean, even if it's not on a Tuesday, maybe we switch it over to a Monday, you know, if that, I mean, I know that doesn't make it better for the 25th or the 1st, obviously, but if we had to do, I can't even do the 8th. I'm looking at my calendar. I'm like, oh, already booked up.
Yeah, just let us know what you can do, and then do the
Yeah.
And,
okay, we'll do that. Sounds good.
Yeah, during the holidays, most days should work.
Yeah.
To figure out where I'll be.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay.
All righty. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of your day, and we'll post in the group whatever progress you make between now and, you know, and our next call. Like, just post that in the group. We'll keep this moving on. I will have module 7, which is your support system. That one will be posted by the morning. I mean, maybe by today. I'll just let you guys know when it's up. But yeah, keep plugging along.
Sounds great.
All right, guys.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.